Alright. So yeah, we're now.
Did you already press play?
Yes. So we are now recording.
When did you press it?
Just now. Just now. Right now.
I wish you would have told me. Can we start over?
And 3, 2, 1. Okay, so welcome back to. We're off to a great start already.
Okay.
Really
so today, second day. Welcome back. 31 days of horror movies.
So yeah, I had my COVID shot yesterday. My second dose of the Moreno, whatever the hell it is. Anyway, so I got the shot, the not Johnson & Johnson shot. So I got it, and today I felt like shit. I didn't feel like shit. You saw me, like I was just getting cold. I was next to the fucking air conditioner because it was like 90 degrees here, but still.
No, yeah, you
had
body
cold.
aches. You looked tired. You looked like you didn't feel good.
Went in, took a shower, and all that. So we got a late start, and I didn't even finish Amityville. I fell asleep at some point. He was just starting to go into psychosis, like staring into the fire, and like. I know she came downstairs. She was going to try and talk to him. But he's like miles away. And then that was the last thing I remember. And then you toughed it out and watched the rest of it. So I only made it about a half hour into it, I think, right? Like, maybe. I mean, we'll be nice and we'll say a half hour. But yeah. I was cracking a lot of jokes about Brolin's hairdo. I was saying that's...
Oh, yes, that hair.
The hair, like, literally, like, what did I say? I said it looked like you didn't know where the hair stopped and his facial hair. Like I thought he just combed it.
Just all
in.
One.
It's all just one thing.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a dated movie. Yes, we knew that going into it, but we all know the story of the Amityville horror house, and
right, it's a supernatural thing, some entity, if you will.
I love it. I love the movie. I love like I said, are you a believer? Do you believe that the house has this residual sort of demonic presence from the murder?
Yeah, like there's still some, like there's still, like, it's almost like The Grudge.
Right.
Like it's just hanging around.
Right. I love the movie. I think the remake is good too.
I liked when the priest got attacked. Like, I remember that part. He first came in, and I was kind of like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, he just came into the house. It was just like, hello, and then he just starts going room to room, making like, once you didn't see anybody there, why don't you hit the bricks? Like,
when he came over to bless the house, and they were out in the backyard, and he just walks through their house. I
thought that was like kind of weird. I was like, okay, that's hella weird. And then he gets attacked. Like, he gets told to leave. Could have got killed.
Yeah.
But for some reason, this entity didn't feel like wiping the priest out for whatever reason, even though he had him in a chokehold.
Well, he actually went blind. The priest did actually lose his sight.
Oh, he got really sick. That I remember. Afterwards.
Yeah. And then the demonic presence or what have you gets really bad with the poltergeist activities, with the oozing from the toilets and...
Oh, yeah, the black stuff coming up. And that was kind of crazy. And when he tried to flush the toilet and it came out black, that was cool. I was like, that's a cool effect. So
the dog starts to get attracted to whatever's happening down in the basement. And, so his Josh Brolin's character wakes up every morning at 3:15.
3:15. Yeah, and he went out. Yeah, that I remember. He went out to the boathouse. He went and he checked that out with the dog. Which I was like, why did they leave the dog outside? Like, it still bothers me. I'm like, who just leaves the dog, like, on the porch? He's like, oh, what a protector you are. And it's like, dude, fuck you. I should be in the house. Like, fucking, dude, I felt bad for that dog. But anyway, sorry.
The dog probably, like, could sense that house was fucked up, so it probably didn't want to go in.
I hope so.
Yeah, like the dog, because they have, like, a sixth sense.
Right, and there was the one, which was the one that we just saw recently where the dog didn't want to come into the house.
Yeah, that's the movie that we're just going to watch, I think, tomorrow, The Conjuring.
Ah, yes. Yeah, the dog wanted nothing to do with the house.
And the dog also gets killed.
No way.
In
Really?
The Conjuring. Yeah, the Bathsheba sheep.
Oh, wow.
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. So like I said, this is just the Amityville Horror, the original classic 80s. I think it had some really good spooky moments where you just felt like you were in the house and you were being watched too.
Yeah, there was
you
some
could
creepy.
feel it.
Yeah, this is definitely. We watched it this afternoon, and maybe this was more of a night. Like, really got to create the mood because.
But it's really interesting how it seemed to affect the man. I mean, it affected everyone, but
it only affected
him the most as far as changing his personality to.
He kept cutting firewood. He was like, "It's so cold in here." It's like, "Oh, well, there's a draft maybe from that." And it's like, no draft could create that. He's saying it feels like it's 30 degrees, so that means usually when temperatures drop, mean, the thing is that's a ghost or something. Some entity is. Present,
energy
is present and is stealing all of the life force.
So basically 28 days is as long as they could last in the Amityville house with everything going on. They fled with their family in fear, and they left. What did it say? They left all their clothes, they left food in the fridge, they were out. It was over.
What was the last night like?
It was a stormy night, a hellish night. There was poltergeist activity all throughout the house. The children were screaming.
Yeah, I did do that.
The walls were bleeding.
The
walls were bleeding. The children were falling down the stairs in pools of blood.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it really got freaking on it at the end.
That's cool.
They fled. Yeah.
I felt bad that I didn't make it through the whole movie, but it sounded like it was a huge. I've only, like I said, I think I've seen it like 3 times, the original. I mean, it's just, it's kind of hard sometimes to watch the older movie. I do appreciate them, but they are definitely, that's a time capsule. Like, it's just that time.
Right.
So you have to go into it with kind of an open mind of like, okay, like, this is going to be subpar. Hokey kind of looking effects, but still going to be. The effects look pretty good. I mean, in this for it being 1980 or something. So
yeah.
So that was really good. And then of course the palate cleanser, which after my nap, I took 3-hour nap. I don't even know. 3-hour nap. I was out.
You slept, so yeah, that was good for you.
I was out.
Our double feature. We talked about it last night. It was decided because going along with what you said, watching those older movies, it's going to be subpar. So we decided to go with a newer version of Cannibal Holocaust,
which was
The Green Inferno.
The Green Inferno
by Eli
Roth, which was.
You've never seen it. Now I've seen it before, so I did know what to expect.
And I hadn't seen Cannibal Holocaust in a while.
I hadn't seen that movie at all.
That one's, you watch it twice, 3 times. Like, you really... Or you put
it
it on
so compare the two. If you had to compare...
Cannibal Holocaust was fucking graphic as fuck. This was...
Way more graphic?
Well, this was kind of... I mean, this was super graphic, too. I mean, we watched the dude get chopped up while he was alive. I mean, he just... Yeah. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, watch.
If you haven't seen it, so...
It's super, super graphic, but it starts slow.
Okay, so The Green Inferno starts off with some college students ready to save the Amazon.
Yep.
Save the Amazon.
The original was that they were on a hunger strike for the janitors. They wanted the That's why I was like,
really?
Janitors' rights. Remember it said, for janitors aren't trash, or some shit. They were holding up these cheeseball signs and going on a hunger strike. We're going to change this shit now. And it was no. The guy's out there strumming a little guitar. I'm a pussy.
And so this is in Cannibal Holocaust, which I have not seen.
No, this is in this movie. The movie that we just watched, there was that whole, remember the group that was outside.
Oh my god, how is it that I don't remember any of those details that you just...
Oh my god, because you really weren't watching, you were popping in and out on your phone.
I was watching, I saw that she approached and... So there was this group that they walked by, and that was the fucking hunger strike group that was trying to get the
janitors to have insurance.
But the movie focuses on one female.
Yeah, there's
character.
one female protagonist, her friend, who's kind of like a dopey dropout, but not dropout friend. And then we watch their adventures. They go around talking about whatever, blah blah blah. Really, that's why I said it started really slow. Like it was just super like, okay,
Well,
when are we gonna get into this? Because it's like, fuck, we're building. I can feel we're building to something, but we're not. It's going so slow, and it's really not even keeping my interest. I can see why you were popping in and out of it. That's why you would forget little details like that. But the little detail of
showing a guitar, the janitors.
The guy.
I mean, it was to save Amazon, right?
So the guy that was strumming the guitar was the lead dude. Was that dude? Spoiler alert! That that was on the T-shirt at the end, and so. Yeah, so she was like, oh, he's kind of cute, blah, 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 Birdie, and kind of thought he was cute. But then his girlfriend quickly came up and was like, nope, he's mine. Bleh. Just, like, that's what you do, like, oh, bitch. So they're
activists.
So they set
a group that she gets sucked into.
Yeah. Militia style. Like, they're kind of like a militia almost, because they
used her, they talked her, basically confused her, talked her into it. She was like a deer in headlights. She really didn't know what she was getting into.
No.
They sort of gave her the kitty
you're not ready,
kitty story of what they're going to do.
Yeah, you're not ready to do what we're talking about doing, but we'll go ahead and tell you about it. But we'll dumb it down to Sesame Street levels. So, and then like the one time they told her to just leave, like the guy was just like, "Can you just get out of here?" And she was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" I said I was sorry.
Yeah, why? Why though? Because she was acting.
Yeah, she was just acting. They said she was acting childish, sophomoric. They said, "Oh, you must be a freshman." And it's like, "Oh, wow, that's fuck you." And it's like, "Yeah, you should leave. No wonder why you talk like that." And it's like, wow, that shit got eviscerated. So she ends up leaving. She's like, "Fuck all that shit." She gets talked back into it by that black. Was he a black dude? He was a black dude. Maybe he was a dark person. We'll just say
Alejandro. And the main character, I had to look it up because I just can't remember those kind of things, is Justine.
Who was the black dude? That's what I wanted to know. That dude. Aaron Burns?
Well, that's the actor's name, but not the character.
Jonah was his name. That dude. Jonah.
Anyway, so let's stick to... Okay.
Yeah, so Jonah, ends up talking... They're in class, and it comes up that her dad is connected in the UN. He's like a high-ranking court person, so fucking he could make shit happen. And her relationship with her dad is not really super good. They seemed like they were fighting when they were at the dinner table, having dinner with the friend, which was awkward. So they find out that she can do shit and possibly really help their cause, so they used her. They, of course, suckered her into being like, oh, yeah, come on and do this shit. We're going to make changes. Look, we just got insurance for the fucking janitors. And it's like, yeah, but that's just us hanging out here. You're talking about, taking my ass all the way to fucking bumfuck nowhere where there's no
the
cell
Peruvian
phones.
Jungle.
That shit was crazy.
So they basically...
They suckered her.
They suckered her into getting on the plane, doing this activist program, all for
What?
All for just
they're gonna stop. They wanted to stop the foresting. They were gonna bulldoze all these fucking trees, of course, and everybody's like, how save a tree, save a whale, save a snail. So they're
they did it all for a photo shoot. Is what
But in the end, yeah. So she didn't know that this was just all a ploy for them to do a photo shoot.
The people are going to be so confused. They are not going to understand what the hell we are talking about.
Well, it's really...
So the group goes to the Amazon, okay? Right. And they perform their fake protest.
They chain themselves to the bulldozers and they start...
Which they soon learn that they are in danger of their lives because there are military people around with guns, and so they chain themselves, and then people rush them with guns,
and they start shooting themselves. One of the girls was trying to get her lock and couldn't do it, and she was freaking out. That's the main chick. the main girl that was in this. I don't even know, but like, yeah, the main girl, the dark-haired lady. She got, yeah, they liked her. They liked Justine.
She was the virgin.
Yes. So
they did the virgin check.
We haven't gotten to that part yet, but so the militia comes out. They're like, the guy starts spouting some bullshit. He slicks a tongue and is like, says something. They put their guns down. They cuff him, and then.
Well, they say everyth's on the internet. They kept holding up their phones. The United Nations, don't shoot.
So they finally put their guns down. They were like, okay, fucking, it's checkmate. So it's just kind of like they took them, but they still cuffed them. And then what ended up happening with it? It gets a little fuzzy at that point. I think I might have gone to the bathroom. What happened?
They put them on a plane. And they thought that they had, a big success. Oh, we're winning. They unhandcuffed them, put them on a private plane, gonna send them home.
Yeah.
So they thought.
Yeah, and they got this other guy. What was the other guy's name?
Anyway, the plane crashes, so now they are down in the jungle.
The actors were pretty forgettable. I mean, to be honest, like that's why I'm just kind of blanking. But I remember that they had this contact that the other guy knew, and they were like trading the passports. Remember, like they were doing some shady shit. Like they were trying to steal their identities, and like they were just going to drop them. So they thought they put them on. So remember, they got on the plane.
I was just thinking that they were just giving them back their passports so they could go home because they were going to keep them in Peruvian jail.
So what happened was
that's why you paid them off so they could leave.
That plane crashed. They sabotaged the plane. And they were just going to have them die, and they were going to take their passports.
Oh, that's what you think? So you think the plane was sabotaged?
Oh, yeah, because the plane...
I didn't pick that up at all.
The engine blew up, and it was brought up in the movie. The guy was like, what probably happened is they fucking were going to take our passports, and they sabotaged this fucking plane. They're like, oh, yeah, you guys are going to go...
I thought that was just a conspiracy theory.
No, you guys are cool. Like, when that guy fucking gave him all the passports, he gave him, 10 passports, and he was just like, yeah. And he's all like, gave him a thumbs up, like they did some shady job.
Suicide.
No, they didn't know. They just, they're on a need-to-know basis, so they didn't know shit that this plane was going to go down. They didn't know the fucking engine was going to have a failure, and because that's what happened. There was engine failure. Remember, it just caught fire, and then fucking...
And what would be the purpose of sabotaging the plane so that they all would die?
They all die because I have your passports now, and now I can sell these. The passports are that's somebody's identity. You could do stuff with that. I don't know what, but I know that's...
I don't know. Y'all read... I don't know. Y'all... I feel like you read way into that I did not read into it at all. I just thought it was a fluke. The plane crashed. Now they're stranded... in the jungle, injured, and now they get captured by native cannibals.
This whole fucking thing was like a ruse that this dude set up and did this shady deal. That's why he got left fucking behind, is because he was just treating these people like they were commodities. He didn't give a shit. He was just that's why they took Jonah first, because he was the fat one. The fucking cannibals, once they fucking got a hold of him, so they crash in the fucking... this thing ends up crashing. People die. The fucking back of the plane cracks off. It's open. There's people getting ejected out the back. So we're losing people there. And you're just watching the slow descent. And now it's sliding on the ground for what seems like forever. And fucking tree comes up and decapitates one of the fucking dudes. Just... blah. One of the pilots.
So gore factor for you was it...
Right off the bat, it got really...
After the slow...
but I was like, damn, dude, this is taking...
I didn't think it was slow. I just thought it was
it's just building. It was building, and I just wanted it. And it gave it to you, almost right off the bat. There was people already from the plane crash, impaled on trees and just fucking, they're still falling.
Right.
It's just fucking nuts. Right. And so...
It's a brutal plane crash, for sure.
Yeah. So they're like, oh, and then they see some movement in the brush, and they're like, oh, cool, somebody's here to save us. Hey, come save us. Boom. All of a sudden, people are getting... There's blow darts. There's spears being hucked. One chick got speared in the throat. Caught another one in the forehead. I was like, holy shit, this got dark real quick. Everybody's blow darted. They wake up. They're in a camp. Some cannibal camp. These people are just straight
Yeah. No, they wake up in a canoe, bound.
They're reds
in a canoe
with redskins. These people were redskins. Like
that's just a clay they put on their skin, though. That's not their real skin color.
Well, I know that's not the real skin, but these people were.
They're indigenous people.
They were very like the bowl cut and just the bone through the nose, and they don't speak a lick of English, of course, so everything's their language. So that was another thing that was frustrating me, is like I didn't have any, like, would have been nice to kind of know what they were saying sometimes, but you end up, I mean, at least on my version, I didn't get
they were just busy from the minute that their captors got there. They were boom, boom, boom. We're going to dispatch and eat the fat guy first. We're going to cook him up. And we're gonna slowly chick, eat everybody basically, and kill the women too, because
they started with his eyes. They fucking ate his eyes.
Not the one
chick, the main, the queen or whatever. Fucking, she just took one eyeball out, and he's fucking freaking out, of course, because his eyeball just got ripped out. And she just eats it, and then rips out another one, and then goes for the tongue, cuts his tongue out,
cuts his leg off,
and then they start hacking him up. While he's still alive during all of this, like he's still like screaming and like I just can't even imagine why.
You get full limb dispatch.
All of the limbs,
and he goes right into the cooker.
They took his torso.
They salt him. They season him, and they literally they don't waste a bit of the body. They're eating everything from the skin to everything. They're seasoning it. They're cooking it and
they're eating, and
like pork.
And he was like, thank God they took Jonah first, because that'll feed him for a week, so that gives us time. And everybody got really sick of this dude fast.
Yeah,
Alejandro dude was a fucking douchebag, and he was just straight up treating these people like they were nothing, like they were expendable.
So they are prisoners. They are prisoners in the pig pen, where they're being kept.
Yep.
And they try to escape multiple times. They try to come up with plans.
But they're surrounded like by people with blow darts. Like there's guys up high, ready to. They tried to get out the top. There was a slat that one of the chicks, the skinny bitches, could get through. Boom! Like before she could even get out, the dart was in her neck. Boom! On the ground. One of the chicks did the unthinkable. Like I was just like, whoa. And this was after the one chick. So one of the girls escaped. One of the girls got out and got to the boat and was going to try and leave, but she didn't make it because
she had tattoos.
The two or three scenes later, you start seeing the people playing with her tattoos. Like they skin the tattoos off her and they're putting them on. Like the children are like playing.
And it was in her soup.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
In the soup bowl, it had like the tattoo. Like the pattern of her tattoo was
her skin. Yeah, her skin was lining the inside.
And you know that they were being fed their friend. Obviously, I'm sure that's what they ate.
That shit was that was insane.
So they had poison blow darts. They had poison magic powder that made people just boom,
it was just
knock you out. They had drinking stuff that basically made you do whatever.
Cracked out.
I mean, lay down on the execution table and just lay down.
So the one chick saw all the tattoo stuff happening. Saw her friend she was already skinned and whatever, freaked out, broke the pottery, and slit her own throat. And just
for fear of
she's just like, I don't even want to be here anymore. I'm done.
Yeah,
that's a wrap. I'm out.
She knew it was gonna be.
This is gonna end bad. I'm either gonna get hacked up or I'm gonna get skinned alive, and I don't want either one. I don't want to be alive.
So basically, they decided out of the three women that the brunette, our main character, Justine, was going to be their virgin sacrifice, possibly, or I don't know exactly what they were going to do with her, but I know they were going to female castrate her.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing that they actually studied a bit before they left for the trip. Was
one of their classes.
The tribe's rituals of female castration. So they were preparing her.
Mutilation, yeah.
Preparing her, strapping her down, dressing her in their ceremonial.
The white powder and whatever. And she had this red on her eyes.
She made friends with the little
She had
little friend.
one little guy that she played her little. She had a little rape whistle that I called it, but I guess it was like an ocarina or something. It was like, so she played it for the little shit, and he liked it.
I thought it was a girl. I don't know. I thought that was a little girl.
That's a kid. That was a boy. Because
but
the
it
girls,
had the top on.
He did not. Dollars of donuts. I know that because the one that passed him was pissed off at him for helping her. Remember, she was like,
Oh, I thought that they connected because they were both female, and that's how she was like saying,
she was
"Help me," and it's like she could feel her pain and felt the connection.
I don't know. I mean, I swear to God, I was a guy, but I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's still like he helped her, she helped her, but like the tribe didn't like it, and so she did get away, and then so how she gets away is kind of crazy because she somehow got her hands free.
The kid.
Oh, helped her.
Cut the hands free
I missed that part. So I missed the cutting of the hands. So all of a sudden her hands are free and she's doing this to get her feet free. She has to lay back down. This fat bone-lip bitch comes in and she just gets up and fucking grabs her fucking bone out of her nose and rips it out.
The lady was coming to give her more powder to put her to sleep.
So blew it in her face and then ripped her with the other chick. She rips the bone out of her nose.
The main character, Justine.
She's a badass.
She blows back the powder onto the sacrificer preparer woman.
Right.
And escaped.
So she ends up getting out and she's just.
And she runs into a war.
She's in bra and panties. By the way, she's just bra and panties.
No, not even. It's like straw, like a straw.
Yeah, but
a straw bikini.
Yeah,
is basically what they put her in with white paint.
So that's all she has on, and she's running around, and she runs into a
and she looks like an indigenous woman.
And she runs into a war, and it's the militia versus the headhunters, and fucking the militia's got the guns. They're just wiping these dudes out. And she almost gets it, and then fucking somebody comes up and blocks the dude, but almost wants to kill her too. She had to be like, I have a cell phone, I'm an American,
Oh, right, but as she's escaping out of the village, she had an opportunity to help Alejandro. He was the last homeboy left in the cage.
The piece of shit, yeah.
And she had the opportunity to let him out of the cage, and she did not. She just ran, followed that kid, ran through the jungle.
Just straight up a fucking fuck you.
Yeah.
Just because he's such garbage, and he didn't deserve to be.
He treated everyone else's life like they didn't matter.
You deserve, you're getting what you deserve. So she left his ass behind. So she runs into this war, and she almost gets shot, and she has to say like she's an American. So they stop shooting. She's holding the cell phone. She's recording apparently too. So the militia.
She's pretending the phone was dead. Let's be real.
So the militia, So that's what I was gonna say. They were like, "Okay, we'll put the guns down." She puts the phone down. The guy picks up the phone. He realizes it's not working. It's cracked. So he's like, "You fucking played me, but whatever. Like, let's get this fucking bitch out of here."
So she's been rescued, basically. She's rescued herself.
She had to be because her dad was in the UN, and they were like, "We don't want any part of that." So
they put her on a helicopter, send her ass home.
Is there any other survivors at the end?
And there's an inquiry.
They asked, "Is there anybody else?" And she was like, "No." So
they asked multiple questions about the tribe. Were they cannibals? Did you see cannibalism?
When she got back, like this
That's
was like
what we're talking about. When she returned, there was an inquiry, and she...
No, what I was talking about was when she got on the plane initially, when she first got on, they asked her, they said, are there any other survivors? Was there anybody else that we need to go back and look for? And she was like, no. She didn't even mention, like, she could have been like, yeah, Alejandro's back there, he's probably getting eaten, but you can go find him. She was like, nope. Just got on that shit and just pieced out. I was like, that's gangster. And then she gets back, and then, of course, her dad and some other UN people are asking questions about what the fuck happened.
Yeah. Details about what happened, and then questions about the tribe.
What was the tribe like?
And she lied. I didn't understand why she lied. That was just her publicity stunt, more of like another fuck you to Alejandro, because that's basically what he was doing, was using all those people for a stunt for publicity.
Yeah, and so and she ended up saying that the tribe wasn't cannibal. She didn't see any cannibals. There was no violence.
They were kind.
They were kind.
Fed
they
her.
helped her. It wasn't until the tractors showed up that's when they got and
the militia showed up and they slaughtered them.
Yeah, so they totally threw the militia under the bus, made them look like shit. She made them look like shit. She made the tribe look like they were fucking angels and not to fuck with them. Which was totally interesting that everybody died except her, and she doesn't even think that, like, oh, maybe I should stick it to this tribe, but she was
I don't know, maybe it was her way of, like, saying, like, they're peaceful people, leave them alone, instead of people being attracted to the tribe and coming there and getting eaten by cannibals
yeah.
with their rituals.
But that was
that was wild.
Movie. So that was the movie.
But
basically.
no, the phone call at the very, very end.
Oh well,
like
yeah.
right as credits are about to roll.
There's an end credit fucking bump where it
like dun dun dun. Alejandro's sister calls.
Yeah, and she's like, I have a satellite image of him. We need to talk.
So yeah, her story about no other survivors.
Yeah, apparently
your story is not adding up. So they kind of leave it like that, and I believe there's a
deuce.
I think there is a deuce.
Oh.
Cannibal.
Cannibal deuce. Oh man, that's a bad deuce.
But so on a scale of 1 to 10, what are we giving it?
Okay, so for Amityville, we didn't grade Amityville. Amityville, from what I watched of it, it's a good movie. I gave Babadook a high score, only because I felt like that was a good start. Like I liked how that starts off this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I was gonna grade the movie itself, I would probably grade it like what you did, maybe like a 6. Like as far as like what it is.
They're showing me Green Inferno 2. It's 1988 movie, so Cannibal Holocaust 2. There's a Green Inferno 2, but they're all 80s. I thought there was
like a current one.
A current one, yeah, that followed up. Because it seemed like they left it for a follow-up, like part 2.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. And this is a hard movie to make because it's so graphic that nobody wants to pick it up. Like, it's not going to probably end up in a theater. So, really, you're just making it to go straight to HBO Max or whoever's going to pick it up. Shudder, whatever.
Okay, so Amityville 1 to 10.
I gave it a 6. I would give it a 6.
I would too.
I'd say the same as Babadook. I would say it's 1A, 1B with Babadook. They're two different movies, but the pacing and there wasn't a lot of horror. These are two movies that were back to back that really didn't have any horror. The horror was at the beginning of Amityville when the guy was shooting the family. That's really
right, the true crime.
That's all the violence that you get. The rest of the movie is all psychological mind fucking shit. Like,
well, no, the rest of the movie is paranormal.
That's
activity.
What I mean. That's what I meant. Yeah, it's
poltergeist activity.
So it's and the same thing is happening with the Babadook. So the Babadook is the same thing, and there's not a whole lot of death in it. And there's just fucking with your head again. So they're 1A, 1B. I give them both 6s. Babadook, for the first watch for me, I gave it an 8 just because it was a good way to start off.
Is that what you said yesterday?
Mm-hmm. I said an 8. I said an 8.
I gave it a 4.
You said okay. So yeah, you said I was shot a little high with it, and I was like, yeah, I kind of did, and I was like, I didn't enjoy it that much, so I was like, gotta tone that back a little bit because I'm not very good at like ranking a movie. Like, I hate putting a number. But if I'm going to, then
if you want to review, tell someone your review.
For the first watch of Babadook, it was very good. I liked it. I left it. Now I'm just Babadooking everywhere. So that
Amityville. So you gave it a 6. I gave it a 6. I say it's a classic. It's always going to be on my list of horror movies, quote unquote. And the Green Inferno. What are we giving that sucker? I'm going to give it like a 7, a 6.5, a 7 maybe. It's on a totally different level than Amityville. It's detached, so you can't compare the two in any way.
Which is funny because I went the other
and it's
direction.
A totally different form of horror.
So I went with what you gave Babadook. I was going to say this was like a 4.5.
Wow. And you wanted this gore and
I got it. But
arrows through the eyeballs, and I'm ripping out your tongue, and I'm dispatching you.
Yeah,
I'm chopping off your limbs.
I needed that, so I got that. That was good. I was just like, wow, this is way graphic.
That was just an add-in that we...
Yeah, that was the palate cleanser, because I was like, oh.
So do you recommend it? Do you recommend it? Yeah.
Yeah, you should watch it at least once.
Yeah, I agree.
Just like Cannibal Holocaust, it's a one-time watch, but ugh.
There are some, if you're a woman, I think there are, that one scene is really hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's just pervy. I don't know why, it's just pervy to me that they put that in there. But
yeah, they had a couple shots of the guy that was taking the leak, and it was just like they were showing like kind of his dick and balls
a limp little piddle
his
dick.
little pud and his fucking
I didn't understand why they had to show that either.
But the spider coming up, and it was like, oh well, I guess we're supposed to put 2 and 2 together, and that the spider's gonna end up in his dick or something.
And he's like who does that and roll their eyes in the back of their head while they're
I'm in the Amazon. I am fucking looking everywhere for anything because there's shit everywhere that can eat you. Like there's ants. That guy that got killed with the ants, they put the shit on him. One of the guys got fucking covered in this green shit, and these ants came out and just fucking ate him up. And I knew that was going to come back around because that was the end thing that was in the school. That when they were in class and they were talking about the cannibals, she was like, oh, now we have, like, let's move on to the ants. And they showed these huge fucking ants, and I'm like, oh, that's...
Are they like the fire ants or just...
These are like army ants. These are like the ants.
I mean, you get bit enough. You know,
they were huge. They were like this
you
big.
Get stung
too.
enough by bees.
Oh, and the CG on it was fucking not good. Like on the ants, they looked so unreal. Like it was total CG. Like it's a little dated there. It's looking a little weird. Not looking like there's really ants
tomorrow,
there.
what are we watching tomorrow? It is The Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
Pretty sure.
Okay, so that's a good way to
The Conjuring
end the
is
happening. The first weekend of October is ending with The Conjuring. That's it. I actually really like the series. I didn't get into it until late.
The Conjuring, and then Monday, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Gunnar Hansen.
And then we have Insidious on Tuesday. So we've got a good lineup for the week. Silence of the Lambs, Strangers, Carrie, House of a Thousand Corpses, and Evil Dead.
Oh my god. Okay. And we watched Evil Dead 2 the other night.
We did.
That movie was...
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
It's funny.
And his acting is...
It's so over the top. He's like Jerry Lewis. He's very... He's physical and very slapsticky. Everything's got a little cut to it. Everything's always got a little cut joke or whatever.
Now, did we say we're going to watch the original Evil Dead?
Yes, the original low budget fucking...
Why? I love the newer...
Army of Darkness. Do you like Army of Darkness? Because that's what every girl likes. That's the Bruce Campbell delight. Do you remember Army of Darkness? Hey, Google. What is Army of Darkness?
I know he's in it. I know. I know of it. I don't find...
Darkness is a 1993 movie directed by Sam Raimi, starring Bruce Campbell, Emmett Davids, and Marcus Gilbert. Do you want to hear the plot or some facts about this movie?
Yes, please.
Here's the plot. Ash is transported back to medieval days, where he is captured by the dreaded Lord Arthur. Aided by the deadly chainsaw that has become his only friend, Ash is sent on a perilous mission to recover the Book of the Dead.
Okay, well, you know, we all know the story of the Evil Dead.
Sorry,
Thank you.
The other actors.
So we've got a good week coming up, good movies coming up, more to say, more to see. Thank you guys for watching.
If you've been watching, you can like literally watch like the first 2 minutes. And then, like, go make a sandwich or take a dump. And then just, like, keep it on. You don't have to listen. Or you can mute it, which is good, too. Like, I think there's closed captioning. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. But, yeah, if you're not into the whole... Our voices.
So, we've got, in the books, we've got Amityville in the books. And we've got Green Inferno in the books.
Green Inferno was...
And the Babadook is done.
The Babadook, Dook.
Babadook. And so, there's some others coming up that you haven't seen, so that will be exciting to see your... I mean, really, that's what I'm more interested in is your first opinion on some of these First three.
The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I'm not super familiar with that. The
Yeah.
Visit. I'm not super familiar with.
That's an M. Night
Ding
Shyamalan.
dong, ding 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 dong.
Yeah.
The Hills Have Eyes. See, that's one that I'm like.
I know we keep going back and forth. Either, or do we want to take it off the list completely, or do we want to watch the new one, the newest one?
I
don't
you know
know.
what? I might. Would you do that on your? You could do a poll on your.
Yeah, and do a poll.
Do a poll on Instagram or something, and just ask people like. The Hills Have Eyes. That's our 16th movie. What should, if we were going to.
Keep on the list
to
or not
trade it
keep
out.
on the list.
If we were-
That's basically the
if we
question.
were gonna
Keep
trade
or
it
not
out,
keep.
If we were going to trade it out, what's your suggestion?
Okay.
That
Cool.
I like.
All right.
I
Well, I'll
wanna
post
hear-
that.
I want to hear people's suggestions on that. But yeah, those are I'm liking the movie so far. I was just stuff that I just didn't feel good today, and I was just.
I know. We've got low energy today, but we're gonna have some higher energy come this week. So
I'm already snapping out of it, so I already feel better, and
I'm excited because I want to do some fallish things that go to the pumpkin patch and.
yeah. And
So we're gonna have a fun week.
We could do we could do a video for that too.
I want to try to do like a photo shoot, like a fall photo shoot. Maybe we could do it in like horror costumes.
Okay. Yeah, I would do that.
Like we're gonna kill Callie and I'm gonna kill you, Callie.
I'm gonna kill you.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, cool. Thank you for watching.
Thank you
again.
for watching.
Peace out.